Thank you so much for coming, Thomas. I really am really thrilled. I know that you're French and you've got your name is France as well. I think that's really cool.
Easy to remember.
Paris is like my favourite city. I know it sounds cliched, but actually it was for me. And I love the French. I think that they're wonderful people. They were always very kind to me. So that's my experience. Plus, they have a wonderful ability to perceive beauty and create beauty. Everything they do is beautiful.
Magical touch.
Exactly. And I was living in Ireland, so there was quite a big comparison. The Irish are very good with words, but not so good with the visual beauty. So tell me, what led you to create your business? What's the pain point and the solution that you're providing?
So at Ledger, we focus on designing solutions to secure Bitcoin private keys and blockchain private key in general. And in that space, security is a major pain point because of Bitcoin, it's just like kind of a digital gold, peer-to-peer cash. So when you have cash, it's easy to secure. You put it on your pocket. But when it's digital, when it's private keys, a text file, it's very hard to secure it. It's very hard to make sure that your computer is clean, doesn't have malware, and that your bitcoins are safe. And we focused on this big problem by designing some solution based on secure hardware to make sure that these private keys are stored and managed securely. And our first product, so it's like what we call a hardware wallet, which is basically based on a smart card, a secure element, that stores your private keys and manages all the private information within like some secure, trusted environments.
So everything goes on that little key?
Yeah, exactly. So everything that is sensitive, so private keys, your bitcoins or your cryptocurrencies are stored on the device. So you plug it in on your computer. Everything that is made on the computer, it deals with like public information. You create the transaction on your computer, but it's actually the signature is actually made on the device.
And is that got some sort of security special?
Yeah, exactly. So it's based on something that is like really European. This secure hardware smart cards is something that has been there for ages and ages. It only came in the US like maybe 18 months ago, and it's something that.
In Australia, we had it.
Yeah, exactly. Every country is except the US for a long time. So it's based on the same type of smart card, secure hardware, and we basically design an OS that runs on this secure element and that manages to do like all the blockchain primitives directly on the secure environment.
So you were saying that you obviously started the business in France and then you moved here a couple of years ago. What are the comparisons between having a FinTech business in Europe and having one here? Is there some challenges or are there some positives about the change?
Yeah, well, I think it's thriving quite a lot in Europe as well. I guess while the US still has a step forward or still ahead on that for exactly the same reason why it's ahead on a lot of stuff. There's access to more capital. The market is bigger than in Europe. If you're in Europe, if you target just one country, then you need to have licenses for different countries. So scaling, the first scale in the US is way easier. After, there's a lot of pros to be in Europe. I guess well, salaries are not as crazy as they might be in the US.
Or in the Bay Area?
In the Bay Area, especially. But yeah, there's some pros and cons in both. But I think it's a good setup for us to have like the large chunk of the team that is actually based in Europe. Lower salaries, we get some great discounts on a good engineer as well, and having some business units based in the US for mostly biz dev and that kind of stuff.
So you get the best of both worlds, really, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. That's a setup that is getting more and more popular. That well, people in the US tend to understand now. So yeah, definitely, it is a good setup.
Fantastic. So where do you think it's all heading as far as FinTech goes in the future? What do you think is going to be possible?
Well, there's a lot of possibilities, of course, for that. I think specifically on the Bitcoin and blockchain space, where I'm more familiar, I see a lot of positive things happening, whether it be from financial institutions that try to seize the possibilities of blockchain technology. So they're making a bunch of tests of POCs to see if it's going to be useful for them. And on Bitcoin and permissionless blockchain, that's where I see like I'm absolutely optimistic on what is going to happen. There's a lot of of demand for this type of solution. There's a lot of demand for having permissionless way of transferring some money. The technology is still at its early steps. There's a lot of hurdles to go through for have better scale and better UI, better security. But these hurdles can be overcome. So very optimistic on that.
It's quite exciting because obviously it's not just the financial industries that'll be affected. It'll be many industries, particularly because of the blockchain. Correct?
Yeah, definitely. If blockchain in some ways, it fits really. The technology fits a lot with all this trend of having some decentralized architecture, decentralized system, and the blockchain is a natural fit for that, for sharing economy, for trade finance. A lot of these solutions, it can be a great fit.
Well, look, thank you so much. I'm so looking forward to this panel tonight, and I think it's going to be really interesting. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.